Have you ever discovered that the people who should love you most are the ones waiting for the right moment to take everything from you? That's the story I'm about to share, one of betrayal, silence, and the night I stood in the rain outside my own cabin, locked out by the people I once called family. I'm Clara Monroe, and this is how love became theft, and how I finally took my life back. Chapter 1. Building my own refuge. At 22, I was just another girl with a secondhand laptop and a dream too fragile to say out loud. I lived in a rented studio where paint peeled off the walls, the faucet leaked a steady rhythm, and the radiator clanged through winter nights like a ghost refusing to leave. I taught myself web design between shifts at a diner. The screen burned my eyes, my wrists ached from cheap keyboards, and more than once I fell asleep with code still glowing across my face. But I didn't quit. Every project was a stepping stone, every invoice a brick in the foundation of something bigger. By my late 20s, I could breathe. I wasn't rich, but I wasn't clawing at survival anymore. My reward was the thing I'd wanted most since I was a child pressed against car windows during mountain drives, a cabin by the river. It was simple. Cedar walls, a porch swing that creaked in the wind, the air thick with pine and possibility. When I signed the deed in cash, no loans, no banks, just years of skipped vacations and thrift store coats, I thought, this is mine. This is where I become whole. But family has a way of claiming victories that aren't theirs. Chapter 2. The ones who took my cousin Maya had a laugh that could charm strangers or cut straight through bone. My brother Jonah floated through life like a balloon tied to nothing, charming, reckless, always in debt. My Aunt Lillian and Uncle Mark wrapped their requests in politeness, their gratitude always laced with expectation. I gave and gave, $1,200 for Maya's car repairs, $400 for Jonah's overdue rent, another $2,000 for Lillian's medical bills, another chunk for Mark's small business dream. I told myself it was love. But each check I wrote felt like a slice carved out of me, floating down the river and gone forever. When I first brought them to the cabin, I wanted them to feel what I felt. The peace, the quiet, the sense that life had finally become more than survival. Instead, Maya sprawled across my couch like she owned it. Nice place, she smirked. Must be good, having money. Lillian ran her fingers along my bookshelves as if cataloging them for future use. You should let us visit more often, she murmured. And me, wanting to prove I trusted them, I handed over a spare key, just in case. One key for emergencies. I never imagined how quickly emergencies would turn into parties. Chapter 3. The First Cracks. I came back one weekend to find the porch littered with beer bottles, my rug stained with mud, scorch marks on my wooden table from careless cigarettes. When I confronted them, Maya rolled her eyes. Clara, it's just a cabin. Don't be so dramatic. Jonah laughed, tossing his arm around me. You've got money to fix it. Don't be so uptight. Lillian sighed, her pity sharp as glass. Don't be so hard on us, dear. We're family. I demanded the key back, but their smirks, their condescending smiles told me the truth. They didn't see it as my home anymore. They saw it as ours. Chapter 4. Locked Out. The night it all broke open, I had just finished a brutal week. Client deadlines, endless calls, sleep carved into fragments. All I wanted was my cabin. The sound of the river, the porch swing under the stars. Instead, I arrived to see lights blazing inside, shadows moving, bass thundering against the glass. My key wouldn't fit. The lock had been changed. I knocked hard, rain soaking through my coat. When the door cracked open, Maya leaned against the frame, the smell of alcohol heavy on her breath. Didn't expect you? She said with a smile that cut like a blade. Behind her, Jonah lounged with a beer. Cousins I hadn't seen in years spilled drinks on my floor. Strangers filled my kitchen. My sanctuary had become their stage. This is my house, I said, my voice shaking but steady. Maya's grin widened. Not tonight. Go sleep in your car. Then she slammed the door. The lock clicked like a judge's gavel. I stood in the rain, my shoes filling with water, the music mocking me through my own walls. Chapter 5. Breaking point. In the car, shivering, I opened my banking app. My fingers were steady, though my chest was a storm. I canceled every payment. Maya's utilities, Jonah's rent, Lillian's emergencies, all of it. Transactions terminated, their lifeline cut. By morning, I had hired a locksmith. Every lock changed, every window reinforced, cameras installed, alarms set. My cabin became a fortress. For the first time, I thought I was free. But freedom has a way of being tested. Chapter 6. The Night Visitors. At 2:17 a.m., my phone buzzed with an alert from the security app. Motion detected. I opened the feed, my stomach sinking. 4 figures moved across the lawn. Floodlights caught their faces. Maya, Jonah, Lillian, Mark. They crept like thieves, but they weren't strangers. They were mine. Maya knelt at the lock with a hairpin. Mark pressed his face to the glass, fogging the pain. Jonah lifted a porch chair and hurled it against the window with a shattering crash. I dialed 911, my voice chillingly calm. My family is breaking into my cabin. I'm watching it happen right now. The dispatcher's tone was steady. Units are on their way. Stay on the line. Through the feed, I watched red and blue lights flood the riverbank. Officers stormed in, commands sharp as gunfire. Maya's hands shot up, her bravado crumbling. Jonah stammered, his charm useless. Lillian and Mark froze, pale as ghosts. Handcuffs clicked. They were led away, their shadows shrinking against the police lights. Chapter 7. Confrontation at the station. They looked nothing like the conquerors of my cabin. Maya's eyes were swollen from crying. Jonah slouched, smaller than I'd ever seen him. Lillian reached for me through the bars. Clara, please. We're family. Make this right. Mark stayed silent, his stare heavy with accusation. I stepped back, my words flat as stone. You stole my home. You stole my peace. You leaned on me until I couldn't stand. And now, you're on your own. Their faces crumpled. But I turned away. Chapter 8. The Aftermath. Weeks later, the news filtered in. Jonah had lost his apartment. Maya was couch hopping, her laughter gone sharp and bitter. Lillian took a job cleaning offices. Mark worked nights at a warehouse. They'd leaned on me so long they'd forgotten how to stand. Now they had no choice. And me? I sit on my porch again, the river whispering below. The silence isn't heavy anymore. It's light. It's mine. Every ripple reminds me. Boundaries aren't just walls or locks. They're choices. And I finally made mine. So I'll leave you with this. What would you sacrifice to protect your own peace? And how far would you go when love turns into theft? If this story struck a chord, remember to like this video and subscribe to Tales Between Time for more powerful stories of betrayal, resilience, and truth. Your support helps keep these stories alive. Until next time, choose your boundaries and never let anyone take your light.